Hi, Warriors. It's Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Must be time for Mike and Dale to bat around the ball in the markets. I think, Mike, we're headed towards some real critical areas. I'm going to show the daily and weekly S&P chart. I think people need to be aware. But I want to just start off with crude. So, this is part of the bearish scenario in the market because the oil shares have held up the market over the last few weeks. And in the room, we talked about a 3 drive up here. Actually got put out a sell at 83.03, 83.80, and then yesterday, something I don't do unless I really have conviction, is added a third unit on a sell stop under the 50 moving average, which was 81.75. So even that's in profits 130. They're going to try and make the big round number 80 look good, but lower numbers are destined, in my view, maybe back to this moving average, maybe 76. But I actually think we're going into the low 60s again on crude. I want to talk about quickly the dollar, which, usually would give a lift to risk, right? So
Yes.
we had a breakout here in the dollar, and the dollar looks like it's coming off. I did it through getting long Aussie a couple units yesterday. Would have been much better in cable. Here's the look on cable. Look at that candle compared to Aussie, but Aussie's going to come out of here. But anyway, the dollar index, I think, is going to provide a nice buying opportunity down here. So here's a classic formation for people to watch now in the British pound, and it can't get any more classic than this. You have a neckline here at major support, and I'm looking for some type of right shoulder, maybe 29. I don't think we'll get to 30, but maybe up around 129, and then a breakdown under here takes you to 120. So I was looking for this dollar weakness. This is counter trend. This is counter trend in euro too. Maybe we could sell the euro up here as well, because I'm looking for, after the dollar correction runs its course, much higher numbers. And I want to finally break it down with, well, that's why I think we're going to have this rally in gold. Maybe back to 1940, 1950. I don't think this is the move to 2100,
Right.
but it was overdue for some type of bear market rally. Maybe we get back to 1940.
I'll take it.
Here's silver trying to turn as well. Maybe
First one went positive. First one acted well today.
Okay, and it may be 2380. So this is counter trend too in the gold and silver, because eventually I'm looking for the 20 handle in silver.
No, right. You always are. Good call.
And 1800 in gold before it bottoms. So let's talk about really probably the most important chart in quite some time is looking at the S&Ps here. And there's a couple of important levels that I want to point out.
Everybody should know them. They're clean. They're clear.
Yeah, so we talked about it last week. The uptrend from the March low gets taken out at about 44.40. We got to 44.45. So I don't know if we're going to hold it now and try and rally one more time, but closing underneath it is not a good signal. And there's another line, which is a megaphone line, which we had a throw over on.
I don't like that.
No. Okay, so see, we had this throw over this wedge line, and that gets taken out at around 43.42. And the importance of that is once it gets back inside this wedge formation, it actually activates the lower megaphone line, which takes it back to 3,200. And I just want you to keep this picture in your mind for a minute of what is incomplete and hasn't happened yet, and look at what happened into COVID.
I saw the post. No, I saw your post.
So it's basically we're here now, and COVID actually did fulfill the formation with a 3 drive. And so now I'm looking for the possibility that it could happen again.
Seasonality is not helping.
Yeah. So, the battleground is going to be 42. I've been talking about for a while. I think it's likely. And really, that's all I have to cover. I know we had some strong retail numbers, Mike. Is it filtering through to any of the retailers? I'm going to surrender my charts to you now and tell me if this news, because I looked at Walmart yesterday and it actually had a key reversal. And also, copper stocks look bad to me. And I want your comment on this, Mike, and tell me if the wise guys are backing it up.
Sure.
The major money center banks that are in the XLF, we gapped down today.
Yes.
So, that's pretty unusual for ETFs to gap. And it tells you that the money center banks aren't in the greatest shape either. Are wise guys buying longer term puts in the banks?
No, the only one that we're buying any type of
Citi.
Well, no, they're not buying puts. They are the only ones this KRE, if you will, had a pop because a lot of people were short them, and actually insiders started buying them. Charlie Schwab was the first one to actually step up there, but I'm not seeing anything now. And there's a chart on Goldman. I mean, I'm very surprised how it's more V-shaped than U-shaped, Coach.
Yeah.
And I'm quite surprised for that. You sometimes get rounding, but I'm quite surprised by that V, if you will, this JP Morgan best of breed. The one that's been the dog all along has been Citi. It's not taking any puts. You can look at the XLF. This Discover Financial had some poor news today, not good for the credit cards. Capital One, there's the chart there for those. There's AXP hanging in there. There's V. Here's the FAS, the triple ETF on the banks. So listen, Coach.
Vulnerable.
Well, they're vulnerable, but they're also telling you that in between those group, it could be stock picking even within the groups, and that's
okay. Well, what looks good, Wells?
Well, Wells, I'm in, but Wells, I'm in. I'm not. Wells is the only one I'm in long in the fund. I'm not doing anything short term.
Okay.
Considering where the market is and how everything is teetering, including the SPX and on the 50-day, I think there is, if I want to trade and make money, day trade, whatever you want to call it, I'm going after something sexier than that, certainly, because there's too much overhead supply. Even from a fund standpoint, it's just massive amounts of money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't
That's
like that
going
chart.
to take something like a Goldman Sachs or a Citibank. I'm sorry, a Citi. This sector it just needs to wash out. It really needs to wash out. Like, I don't know how you would put it, but some macro situation and everybody just not to believe. And it's not, there's nobody interested in it now. Morgan Stanley, it's not for me.
I think they have trouble with the assets they have on their books. All of these banks, not just regionals.
I would argue, Coach.
They have commercial real estate loans. People are handing the keys over. I saw an article that Blackstone is divesting here in the U.S.
I saw that actually.
That's kind of a big deal. They've been a whale here in this country. And anyway, that's Larry Fink.
And it is Larry Fink. It's until then, Coach, there's a lot of, there's still stock picking as before. If we just brought up how there's, a bifurcated stocks in within each sector, then there are good stocks to trade. IONQ, Tim Fury Green would have worked all day long. This was green all positive all morning. What's wrong with buying this?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I'm saying that they're giving you opportunities. By the way, this is a pretty active stock. Pardon me. Coin is taking a lot of action. I posted in.
I saw tons of options. You said.
Pardon me. Oh my God. Bottom line is, I saw that they were short term, but you know what? They moved the market to a degree, even if it's short term. Well, I'll talk maybe in length, another deal about what the good and the bad options were. For example, SC was a poor one, but I was buying it at 80.40, sold it at 82.16, and I'm trading at this point. I'm trading upon option flow. How about MU? MU, unfortunately, yesterday, was the strongest stock on the board. That was at $4. Look at the volume on, as I said per yesterday's video, a little bit of juice was out of the punch bowl. It's kind of like, as I was telling Alex in our room, there are certain stocks that you want to be in pure plays, but some of them you don't want to really be chasing up. Micron kind of collared people yesterday. Now it's an inside day. Now there are longs and shorts battling it out. It's just another move. Next, CLSK is a stock that, by the way, I don't care what they do, what they make. It happens to be a Bitcoin miner, taking tons of option flow along with coin. Here's the chart right here, acting. It's above yesterday's highs.
Yeah, it looks
With
okay.
volume that's been coming in. And here's a chart on, you can look a chart on the Qs, a chart on the SPYs, whatever you want to look, but this is showing great technicals, great volume, and it's showing option play. So I don't know what else to do from there. I'm not saying, because the market's under pressure. I don't, just like you said with the gold going back to where it was, I don't think CLSK is going to make the move from 5 to 7 because the market's a different market right now, but certainly stocking some. I think it's a better to follow the option flow than build the actual equity. Just because the market's a little under pressure.
Do you ever just go with the options, or do you always buy the stock based on the option flow?
It depends on which move when, and like I say, SE was taking a tremendous amount of calls. I kept posting it for I don't know how long, but those are the wrong type of calls. The stock never moved. So what I said to myself today is people are so.
How did you know they were the wrong type of calls? Because there was no move. Okay.
Now all those calls have to unwind. The people long calls. Now they have to sell the calls on top of being long the stock. So it's almost like a double cascade.
Yeah.
They have to sell the calls. And they're not really looking to buy back the stock yet. But let me give you an example here. Here's IONQ right here. Just coming along my last post here. Bullish. Right here where my thing is. And here's another one. It's all over
Amazon.
Well, it is Amazon. The other one is IONQ.
Still August. What's EDR? They're going out to November.
EDR. That's an energy.
Okay. Interesting.
Endeavor Group. What is Endeavor Group? I believe that's energy. Now, I'll just tell you, if I want to look at something and I don't know, I just go to something like bar chart, or I could go to my quotes and I'll go to EDR, Endeavor Group Holdings. Or what do they do? All right, news and headlines, key statistics. I'll close. I'm sorry. I can just come on. That's what happens. Entertainment, sports, and contact company.
Okay, that's different.
All right, you know what that moves? That's moving with. It is different. It's completely different. Matter of fact, it wasn't even the same ballpark. Speaking of sports management, but now that they know what they do, this is what I go to. I go to ASO, acting very well. The American Sports Academy, a retailer that was a favorite, almost like your ONON. All never flinched. Now it pulled back. We'll have to do my due diligence to why it pulled back. Now it's based. Now it has news. With this EDR that's having option flow. I like it. ASO. It's a retailer. What else are we doing? My point being, let's go to TradeGATEHub, coach, and just finish here. Wiseguy, what are they doing? How about that? That's more important than even what I dissertate to. Okay. IONQ bullish, Amazon, August, nothing, Carvana, August, December. There you go. CLSK. They're going out to December.
That's a long-term bet.
Well, they might, this is the chart again. And by the way, coin's also taking some option activity. And I looked at Mara. Mara's right on the 50-day actually holding. As a matter of fact, I wanted to buy Mara before. Mara actually made a decent move, 14.50 to 15. As a day trade, yes, that's not really that sexy for me. I need something more, but it did hold with coin going up with options with Mara on the 50-day. CLSK also went up. So bottom line is CLSK, they're going out to December. Those are the right type of calls that you want. What I would do and handle this, if I saw all the above, I would be buying CLSK on dips. Or I just buy some lotto calls. Maybe I bid for some. I don't really want to buy them here because I think the market might pull back a little bit. It doesn't mean that I'm going to bid below 50%, but everybody should know you always bid for options. Anything you're doing, that's number one. And number two is I'll probably bid for some calls here, and I will buy the stock on the way down. That's how I would handle it if I went to it. Let's look at coin. And I also want to see if coin holds. I don't want this to be a bifurcated stock or just an individual situation within Bitcoin, because they do all go together. It's very rare that they go. So I also am going to keep a chart on to see if Mara holds the 50-day. As we all know that Riot is the dog, but it is the squeezer. So
I'll say one thing about that last one. It worked its overbought condition off by hardly giving up ground and just moving sideways. See that?
That's
We were
correct.
we were at 80 and now we're back around 40, which is
Mhm.
neutral. And I bet we didn't even retrace 38%. I bet that's like 23%, which is shows inherent strength. The smaller the retrace, the further the launch into space.
No, listen, you can't get what cliche is, whatever cliche you want. That should be number
Lost in
one.
space, that robot, I used to have
Spaceballs,
nightmares. Yeah.
Spaceballs with
Danger, danger, Mike Venezia.
So, it's also signifies how the group acts.
Yeah,
Coin is the proverbial best of breed, even though the chart, I
yeah.
mean, it is an $8 stock. Everybody knows that Mara is like the secondary one of Coin, and the dog really is Riot because that goes on short squeezes. But the other ones, the tertiary ones, don't look bad. CLSK. Then I looked at HUT, which is another one that's in the Riot category. I'm not going to buy that. That would have popped already. So I'll move on from that. You know what I mean? So that they took option there, action
I don't like that.
in a no way, a
Yeah.
couple of the Bitcoin miners. All
Just
right.
something I've learned over my career, Mike, is that when you have a real like intensity of sell-off in the market, and those levels I showed, 44.40, 44.20, we start accelerating under there, that when they raid the saloon on days like that, they take all the girls.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so just letting you know what happens when, in case you're at a bar and it gets raided, they're going to
No,
take
no.
all the women.
I'm like that. Benny, what is that line in Goodfellas? I'm the guy that I go, as we says, I take my wife everywhere, but then she finds her way back home. You know what I mean? That's what I do. I drop her in the saloon. Don't you know the line
Oh,
in Goodfellas?
those are the real wise guys.
Yeah, he goes,
So
I love taking my wife everywhere, but somehow she finds her way back home. Anyway,
it's almost a Henny Youngman kind of joke.
that's what it is. That's the guy.
Is it Henny Youngman?
Yeah, yeah. I didn't know the
All
name.
right.
I
Wow,
was paying more
he was
attention to things. I was paying
hilarious.
more attention to other things than Goodfellas. But
All
listen,
right.
here's the most actives. Here you go with the volume. DCTH had news, as you could obviously deduct. It does 230,000 shares a day. It's done 65 million. Let me give you an example. This is the chart of DCTH. Yesterday was 2. Somebody
Oh
woke up
my
very
God.
happy. So this is a stock that had obviously FDA news. So keep that in mind. I don't know if
Jeez.
I don't know how to play that yet. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So here you go. AMC. A lot of stocks are trading with the X. Obviously, as knows that they thwarted, they turned down the takeover. Trading 16 million shares today. Normally does 6. So this is up volume, down volume, or most active. Then I go to see what's the percentage gainers. What's been moving the last 15 minutes? DCTH brought it up. IONQ, didn't I? Brought it up.
Yeah. Still
So
looks okay.
the bottom line is, I really didn't know they would come up here, but they should because I'm in the right church, same pew, is that we're never going to be a lack of what's moving our financial instruments. It's up to you based upon Coach and I's videos and your experience to develop your own plan and to get on a trade view markets demo and to trade on a demo, if you will, instead of trading real money, which believe me, set you back a long time, especially when I started. So just like percentage gainers, movers, option flow, we go to TGH, the main room. It's basically what we do. We're not splitting the atom. We're not trying to PSC short squeeze. I saw that. We're just we do what everybody else basically does. We just do it a little bit better in quality over quantity, being we take our trades based upon price action, volume, range. Of course, we want things to move, sentiment, option flow, and trend. I mean, I don't know. I don't. Everybody can deduct or add one more.
First of all, don't take anyone's trades blindly, including ours. It has to line up with your own work. And it's also a bad habit to get into, to become dependent upon someone for your trading ideas, because they may not always be there. You have to learn how to make decisions yourself. And then you go around to guys whose work is pretty good and you check it out. And that may give you more conviction, and you'll see things that you didn't see yourself that might even give you more what they call a confluence on your ideas.
The
So
bottom. This is a
that's the
charter
way
boat.
I do it.
Okay. Well, I consider this a charter boat. You can
Yeah.
pay us 50 or well, by the way, TradeGATEHub is free. You can go on the boat. We'll bait the hook. You show you where the fish is. You're going to come off with fish. and you're going to be happy with with probably the transaction. TradeGATEHub is free, but what coach means is we eventually want you to get your own boat and get your own fish
Yeah.
and be able to bait your own hook. Like I said, with the financial instruments, we're going to show you where the fish are. It's up to you to know what type of fish you want and what you're best at, and we'll go from there.
And use low leverage or you'll need more than Dramamine.
Right.
Okay. So Mike, great catching up with you early in the week. I'll see you on Thursday.
Of course, Coach. Thanks for a grateful.
I enjoy it. I enjoy our interactions on Tuesday and Thursdays.
Coach, I almost need it.
Okay, buddy. Have a great day.
Cheers,
Adios.
everyone.
Cheers.